Hey everyone, I haven't posted in like 3 to 4 months, so I apologize for that. But anyways, I'm gonna be breaking down how I created this jug edit. So I'm basically gonna show you guys how to create jug edits from start to finish. So yeah, so this is the jug edit that I made. So yeah, that's what I made. So I'm gonna show you guys how to create that. So first of all, first step is the composition settings. This matters to me a lot, but you can skip this step if you like already decided what your composition settings are. But most jug edits have a frame rate of between 15 to 24. I don't go any higher than 24 since I feel like it's too smooth. Which, I mean, if you want it to be smooth, you can do that. But you know, lower is better, I guess. But don't go lower than 15 since it'll be too choppy now. Okay. Second step is your clips and audio. I already have my clips and audio arranged, but I'll be showing you guys on how to create these beat markers. Since a lot of people have been asking me in my comments, how do you create those beat markers? How do you create those beat markers with the text or with the lyric? So I'll show you guys. Let's go to edit, go to keyboard shortcuts, and then this is gonna pop up, right? And then go search marker and scroll down, and then you will see add layer marker, and then you can set a keyboard shortcut for it. So now, yeah, that's what you do. So personal preference, but I set mine as Alt 6 so it's easier for me. And now you can just click OK, and you can now click Alt 6 on your keyboard to create your marker. Okay, now that's done. Next step is time remapping. I already have the first loop of my edit time remapped, so I'm gonna show you guys how to time remap your clips on the second loop. So what I prefer using is freeze frame instead of time remapping since I have a hard time with time remapping. But anyways, whatever. So go to the first frame of your video, right click on your video, time, freeze frame. Then go to the end of your clip, and then move it a few frames forward, like that. Now easy ease your clips, or F9, right click on it, keyframe assistant, easy ease, or F9, and then copy my graph. It's gonna look like this. Okay. So, it looks fine already, but what we need to do is turn on frame interpolation right here. So, let's double click on this, and it should have this icon that has like an arrow. So now our slow-mo is a bit smoother than before. You can see here, as like blur. When I turn that off, it just looks kind of weird. We want this to be on just so it's smoother. So yeah, we're basically just gonna keep repeating that. Okay, so for instance, I have this clip that has like that has a length of 3 beats. So what you're gonna do? What you're gonna do is make sure frame interpolation is on as well. Right click on your video, time, freeze frame. Go to the start of clip and make sure that's set to default, and go to like your second beat and move that a little bit. And go to your last beat or your end of the clip and move that to wherever you want it to end at. So now easy ease that, and copy my graph once again. I'm using the graph editor for the sake of showcasing what to do for beginners. Okay, so I'm finally done time remapping my clips, so this is what it's gonna look like. So that's what it looks like, right? So the next step is to create your transitions. Oh my god. So first of all, pre-compose your clips. Or to be honest, jug edits have like simple transitions, but what makes the edits pop are the shakes and the effects. So what I'll be doing first is to create zoom transitions, and I'll make this out graph. In this portion, I'm going to add BCC directional blur. It's like 45 degrees. As well as hotspots. So it's gonna look like this. Okay, that's not much right now, but it's a trusted process. And also, don't forget to add motion sensor clips. I completely forgot about that. So make that 300 output width and height, and I'll make this have a zoom out transition, and I'll ease out that. So where the hell is the beat here? So I'll just zoom this in a little bit since there's a 3 beat length video. And then for the next beat, I'm just gonna zoom this out. Okay, I yapped so much in this part, but in summary, I created a slide transition for my first and second clips, and I wanted the keyframes, or I like the keyframes to be like 2 to 3 frames apart, or like maybe 4 frames apart, since I want the slide to have like a quicker pace, just like this. That's basically the summary of what I said in the video since I yapped so much. But here's just me continuing my slide transition as is, yeah. Next I'll just zoom this in. I'll zoom this clip in. Okay, so this is a voiceover again, but I really like creating these bounce zoom outs. So to do that, what you have to do is to keyframe your scale and your rotation, and move it 1 frame forward, and zoom out your clip a little bit and make the rotation -15, and click Alt on your keyboard and click on the stopwatch and paste the line of code that I'll be leaving in the description, and do the same thing for the rotation, and ease it, and this is what it's gonna look like. So here's the edit without the 1 framers and effects. So now let's add our 1 framers and our shakes. So for this part, I'm gonna add a shake here, and this amplitude is basically how like harsh it is, I guess, and frequency is how frequent the shakes are. So if it's like higher, that means there's more shakes in the shake, but if it's lower, it's like less shakes, so like basically how harsh it is. So if it's low frequency, it's like not really harsh, but if it's high frequency, it's like really harsh. And I don't move any of these anymore, so I'm gonna make it like 8, and I mostly make my amplitude like around 5 at first. So I increase so depending on what shake I want to do, I'll make a Y shake for now, so I'll decrease my X shake, and I'll amp up my Y shake, and I also increase the tilt shake sometimes. So now keyframe it on the first frame of your video, and you can change the seed to like, it depends on like what frame you want the shake to start, or like how you want the shake to start. So if you want to start from here, go select that seed, but I want my shake to start from here to top, so I'll select that seed. It's basically random, and to be honest, the shakes is just like a vibe-based process, and it just depends on your personal preference, so you don't have to copy all my settings. So anyways, go to the end of your clip and make the amplitude 0, and let's make the graph the ease out graph, so like this. So this is what it's gonna look like. So that's what it looks like right now. Not much yet, like, once again, but and since the next few clips are like a flicker effect, I'll end this clip as an S shake once again, since I want to transition into the hyperslide or the flicker properly. So let's create an S shake once again, and I want this shake to be like a random, so I'll just increase the X and Y shake just a little bit, and I'll increase it till it shake once again. I'll increase the frequency of it, since I want to have like a harsher shake. I'll increase the amplitude, and I'll change my seed. Yeah, that's pretty good. And I make an in graph. So this is what it's gonna look like. Next, I like adding hotspots. Since this effect has hotspots all throughout, I'm just gonna keyframe this part and increase the hotspots. So the first frame 0, and the next frame is around like this. Bruh, KDV looks so scary, but anyways, this is what it looks like. To transition from this flicker to the next clip, we'll now add our one framers. So anyways, to create one framers, you have to create an adjustment layer. So go to layer, new, adjustment layer, or just click on Control Alt Y on your keyboard. Remember, or Command Alt Y, whatever. Cut your adjustment layer to one frame. That's why it's called one framer. And for this one framer, I wanna have it set as a mosaic maybe, and go to 45. Change that to 45, and duplicate that, and I'll make this a main max, and I'll make this just horizontal only, and I'll increase that. So I'll add an S shake to this, but I'll only make it like a really light S shake, you know? So my favorite type of one framers are the one with offset and directional blur. So I'll split this into like maybe like 3 or 4 one framers. So what I like doing is offset and increase that. Next frame is BCC directional blur, and I'll make this like angle 0. And next is minimax once again. I'll make this just vertical now, and I'll make this. I'll go to transform and uncheck the uniform scale and change the scale height to like increase it. I'll probably like arrange like. Now I'll add an S shake once again, and I'll make this a Y shake once again. So I'll decrease the X shake, I'll increase the Y shake, increase the tilt shake a bit, I'll change the C. I'll graph it once again. I'll make that an out graph. This is what the jugg edit looks like right now. So next effect that I wanted to use for this, what I'll do is I'll create 4 adjustment layers once again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll make the first adjustment layer transform, and I'll squeeze it a little bit. So I'll decrease the scale width. Next is I'll use offset. Just like that. And I'll make it have hotspots. And I'll make the next frame transform. I'll make this increase now. Like that. So it's gonna look like this. But we can add a shake once again, so I'll add a shake. And I'll make this a low Y shake once again. So I'll move that to first frame, and I'll go to last frame, and make that 0, and I'll make that an out graph. And once again, I'll add 1 framers, so I'll make that have like a length of 3 frames, and I'll make this transform again. I'll change the scale height, I'll make the next frame transform, and I'll change the scale width of this, and I'll increase it. So next, I'll add 3 to 4 1-framers again. I'll add this directional blur, minimax, and I'll make this just vertical. I'll make this transform, and I'll change scale height, and I'll make this BCC scanlines, or scanlines, S scanlines if you want. I'll make this the line frequency like lower maybe, and I'll change the sharpness, and I'll change the angle as well. So besides by a shaking add, you can make a dissolve shake. So you can make a dissolve percent 40, and dissolve speed around like 7, and increase the amplitude, and keyframe dissolve percent, and make that 0. Oh crap, make that 0. I'll also disable motion blur. Next, I'll create another 1-framer for my next connecting clips. I'll make this transform, scale width, invert, make this tint, I'll make this offset, rotation, bounce, so I'll make this like 15. And I'll create a bounce for my Y position. So I'll increase my position, and I'll create a bounce effect. I'll create a bounce effect for this too. For position, so let's add a length of 3 to 4 1-framers again. Let's make this transform. Let's make this BCC directional blur. Let's make this offset. And let's add like a warp bubble here. This is also the effect I like using. Increase the frequency of the 1-framer. I mean the warp bubble. Like this. I like it around like 1 to 2 or like 1 to 4. And increase the amplitude. I'll make it this 0.3. And keyframe that amplitude. And go a few frames forward. Or at the end of your clip. Oh my god. And make that 0. And easy ease that. And make that an out graph.
Swirl.
I wanna add like a bounce again, so I'll create a bounce rotation. So make that around 15. And I'll copy paste the expression once again. there it is. So what I like doing for my jugg edits is creating BCC lens blur OBS. So I'll just add that real quick. So create an adjustment layer and add BCC lens blur OBS. Make the gamma 999. Make the iris scale around like 10. Oop, not 20, 10. And go 3 frames forward and make that 0. And easy ease the first keyframe and copy my graph. So it should look something like this. This part is optional, but I like to add exposure, and I set the exposure as 0.9, or you can use 1, and keyframe that, and go to the end of the clip and make that 0. And just easy ease it, and no graph. So you just have to copy and paste the adjustment layer to all your clips, and that's basically it. So this is what the final edit looks like.
Swirl.
So I hope the tutorial helped. If it did, you can guys leave comments and questions, and I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. And yeah, I hope the tutorial helped. Thanks, guys.